going on, Jerome? So the NFL schedule is mercifully finally out, and the Vikings have 8 games on the road, and we're going to rank them by I want to go to their fan experience, basically. But also factors in city as well as time of year, major factor as well, especially here in the great state of Minnesota. It gets a little bit cold in the late fall and the winter. It happens, man. Now, London is obviously 1-1, but London is technically a home game, but also it would be number 1 on the list. So Tottenham Hotspur, October 6th, week 5, go out there and get it. So first up, number 8. So week 4, September 29th at the Greasy Grime Green Bay Packers. No, that's all. So what's interesting is that up there, so Door County is adjacent to Green Bay, which is lovely. It's very, very nice. But Appleton adjacent, no. Like, what we're going to do? Again, I don't know. Wow, I still don't. It boggles my mind why they're having the draft there. I mean, because you saw like 700,000 people descended upon Detroit for the draft. But Detroit has the infrastructure. Green Bay has like 3 hotels. And they're both Best Westerns. One's a Red Roof Inn. Where they can put everyone. But it doesn't matter. But yeah, maybe I don't have fun in Green Bay because I actively don't want to have fun. That certainly could be the case. But whatever. Like, I feel like as a Vikings fan, you have to go to at least one Vikings-Packers game in Lambeau just to represent. And wear as much purple as you can. Like, you got to look like Prince was in a plum patch and then he got hit with a blueberry pie. That's how much purple you got to wear. Well, blueberries are actually purple. That doesn't matter. 7. So the Lions. Where Detroit, don't tell anyone, Detroit's actually a really fun town. So don't get me wrong. Like, Detroit is actually sort of set up like Minneapolis. It's sort of set up like New Orleans. It's sort of set up like Indianapolis, which it's a great centrally located city. Stadium's right downtown. There's lots of things to do around the stadium. And also, so Greektown is fantastic. Greektown's a lot of fun in Detroit. Plus, they do have a unique culinary point of view, like Detroit-style pizza. I'll just say it. I like Detroit-style pizza better than Chicago. I said what I said. No, there you go. Also, there's a lot of Greek as well as like Middle Eastern flavors in their food, which is really fantastic. Plus, you can drive south to Canada. It's good times. But the fact that it's January 5th, I mean, if it was like middle of the season, this would be a little bit higher. But again, don't tell Detroit Lions fans because no, don't want it. 6. So I got the Seahawks. Now, Seattle is a fantastic town, but the date has a major thing to do with it. So, also, it doesn't really snow in Seattle, but you saw videos last year, like cars literally just like sliding down like steep hills. Like it gets icy, it gets rainy, it gets whatever. Like there's like maybe like one nice month in Seattle. December 22nd is not it, right? So, like I said, Seattle is great. Some of the best sushi I've ever had has been in Seattle. It's almost like they get fresh fish every single day. Also, the most legit smoked salmon ever. It's fantastic. Plus, the whole, hey, did you know that they don't let you catch the fish at Pikes Peak Market? It's BS. It's bullcrap, man. But also, you do the touristy stuff. Space Needle, the modern pop culture museum is pretty fantastic too. So Seattle. Also, you can see the first Starbucks, which looks like a Denny's. So you can do that. Like Seattle's a fun town, but maybe not in late December. 5. So you got the Jaguars. Duval. So November 10th. Like, you're starting to get into colder weather in Minnesota, and so Jacksonville. So when people think Florida, people think beaches and heat and all that stuff. And Jacksonville, I mean, Jacksonville's nice, but it's right on the Atlantic. It's never really warm. So you take that into account. But Duval is great too. And also, culinary-wise, a ton of fresh seafood. And also, like, they have like unique, like, southern mix, with Florida. All the fresh seafood, it is pretty damn fantastic. And when you say Florida, like, you think like Miami, you think like South Beach and stuff. So Florida. But I mean, Jacksonville's like northeast Florida. So basically, Jacksonville's in the South. It ain't Florida anymore. So that, like, all the stories about Florida man XYZ, chances are they're from Jacksonville. 4, so Chicago. Again, don't tell anyone, but Chicago is a very fun town. Like, it's a great food city. It's a great walking city downtown as well. You know, get around the Millennium Park. There's tons of great restaurants, tons of great bars, tons of things to do, and all the touristy type stuff. But I mean, Chicago, like I said, I sort of threw Chicago style pizza under the bus, but I mean, it's still very good. Still pretty, like Lou Malnati's is absolutely fantastic. Plus since the Bear came out, like everyone's all about like the Italian beef, which is fantastic too. Downtown's a ton of fun. Gibson Steak. So I know the Gibson Steakhouse sort of became famous because of the league, but it is absolutely a legit place. It is absolutely legit. So also you factor in, like, so it is November, and it is going to be, I think that's the week before or the Sunday before Thanksgiving this year. I think that's what it is. But also I feel like football in Chicago, like it should be a little bit crisp weather. Like, maybe there'll be snow, maybe there won't be, maybe it'll be nice, maybe it won't be, but there'll be a little chill in the air at Soldier Field, which will be good. Number 3, so I got the Giants. So week 1, the opener on the road, New Jersey. Good times, man. But with the Giants, I mean, New York is obviously New York. All the touristy stuff, every restaurant you could possibly think of. And also, you know, September 8th, you're going to be around 9/11, so you're going down to Ground Zero for the memorial will be moving, and a very, very good life experience. And then game-wise, worst turf in the league, worst stadium in the league. You're in New Jersey. I don't know. Maybe this should be lower. Actually, you know what? It's my list. Rams are 2. Yeah, I'll put that lower because everyone thinks about fall in New York is fantastic, but September is basically August, and it's gonna be hot as balls. So I mean, you're not gonna see the leaves changing. You're not gonna be fall in love at the Plaza Hotel. But also, what you can do is you can go to your aunt and uncle's renovated brownstone and then set up booby traps for criminals that somehow got out of jail, and you have to tax that ass twice. You can do that. Number 2, so Rams. Now, I know that LA isn't everyone's scene, and I actually prefer San Diego to LA. But so Los Angeles. So October 24th, not quite like cold here in the great state of Minnesota, but going out to California, getting some sun, it's great. But also, don't expect the water to be warm. The Pacific never gets warm. So there you go. But going to the beach, Santa Monica, it's always a good time. Right there on the boardwalk. Go to Chinatown. Their Chinatown, their Koreatown is fantastic. Again, fantastic sushi, fantastic Korean food. Also, they have a very large Armenian population, so a lot of good food from that region as well. Actually, they got everything. They got everything, man. Like kebabs, falafel, just it's a good food town. Absolutely. Also, their Chinatown is so Chinatown that the street signs are not in English. That's when you know that you're going to find some nice nights. Like, honestly, the best whole fish dish that I've ever had was at some random place where I couldn't even pronounce it. Luckily, it had some local guides to bring me there, but it was a whole fish. I don't even know what kind of fish it was, but it was stuffed with lemongrass and coriander and chilies, and it was just the best roast fish I've ever had. And also just like the sauce that came off it. So the sauce with the lemongrass, with the coriander, with the roasted fish flavor, everything in there, and then you just put that on rice. I've been chasing that high ever since. Literally, I've been chasing that dragon. Anyways, but in LA, I mean, you have all the regular LA stuff. You got Disneyland, you got Harry Potter World, you got Universal Studios, you have all that stuff. So there you go. And lastly, Tessie Tytoons. All right, so November 17th, again, it's going to be cold here in Minnesota. Tennessee is not like hot, but it is more temperate. But Nashville's a fun town. Like, can't even deny it. Like, Nashville is a trope. It's like, hey, all the bachelorette parties goes to Nashville. Well, I mean, it's for a reason, right? So all the live music is fantastic. It's a party town. Leave those Broadway girls alone. You can throw furniture off of roofs of bars with no repercussions at all. Also, barbecue is really, really fantastic in Nashville. So, I mean, for me, Nashville's 1-1. Well, obviously the London trip would be first on the list, but so Nashville, L.A., Chicago. Well, again, I have a soft spot in my heart for Chicago. Jacksonville's pretty damn good. New York. I mean, if this was New York in mid-October, I think that might be number 1 or 2, just because of fall in New York. But again, week 1, it's gonna be hot as balls, and you're gonna be stuck in New Jersey. Seattle would be higher if it wasn't so late in the season. Detroit would be higher if it wasn't so late in the season. Packers would always be last. That's all, man. But that's it. Vikings 2024 road games ranked by, I don't know, traveling fan experience. Sure. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.